Heaven's Gate, led by the enigmatic duo of Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. Their bond sparked a radical belief that humanity was merely a vessel for souls destined for a higher existence among the stars. They preached that by renouncing earthly ties and embracing a monastic lifestyle, followers could ascend to the next level, where extraterrestrial beings awaited.
I'll tell you who I am. As to whether or not you believe who I am or not is up to you. I'm from kingdom level above human. What does that yield? That yields immediately that the vast majority say, cult.
As their teachings evolved, so did their isolation. Members adopted androgynous appearances and even underwent castration, believing it would free their souls from earthly constraints. The death of Nettles in 1985 tested their faith, yet Applewhite adapted, insisting that her spirit had transcended to the higher realm. The climax of this tragic tale unfolded in March 1997, when Applewhite convinced 39 devoted followers that a UFO was trailing Comet Hale-Bopp, the sign they had long awaited. In a chilling act of faith, they ingested lethal doses of poison, believing they would board the spacecraft and ascend to a new life. Dressed in matching black clothing and Nike sneakers, they lay peacefully in their beds, leaving behind a haunting legacy of devotion and tragedy that still echoes through the corridors of modern spirituality. Aum Shinrikyo. Led by a man who claimed to be the reincarnation of Christ, Aum Shinrikyo, meaning supreme truth, was founded by Shoko Asahara, a charismatic figure who blended elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, and apocalyptic Christianity into a chilling doctrine. Asahara attracted followers, promising enlightenment and salvation from an impending apocalypse. He painted a vivid picture of a world on the brink of destruction, where only his loyal adherents would survive. As the group grew, so did its paranoia and ambition. Aum Shinrikyo transformed from a spiritual movement into a doomsday cult, convinced that they alone could navigate the chaos of an impending World War III. They began to recruit young, intelligent individuals from elite universities, offering them a sense of purpose amid the pressures of modern life. But beneath the surface, Aum harbored dark intentions. The cult's descent into violence culminated in the infamous Tokyo subway attack on March 20th, 1995. Members released sarin gas in the bustling subway system during rush hour, killing 13 people and injuring over 5,000. The attack shocked the nation and exposed Aum's sinister nature. In the aftermath, Asahara and several followers were arrested, leading to trials that revealed a pattern of manipulation and murder within the cult. Despite its violent past, Aum Shinrikyo still exists today under the name Aleph. People's Temple. In the heart of the 1960s, a charismatic figure named Jim Jones emerged, promising a utopia where racial equality and social justice reigned supreme. He founded the People's Temple, initially in Indianapolis, where he attracted a diverse following with his passionate sermons and visions of a better world. Jones's message resonated particularly with African Americans, who found hope in his promise of an integrated community free from the shackles of racism and poverty. As the movement grew, Jones moved the temple to California, where it flourished amid the counterculture of the time. Members engaged in social work and political activism, believing they were part of a revolutionary change. However, behind the scenes, Jones's control tightened. He demanded absolute loyalty, turning his once welcoming community into a fortress of paranoia and manipulation. In 1977, seeking refuge from scrutiny, Jones relocated his followers to Jonestown, a remote settlement in Guyana. Here, he preached about impending doom and the need for sacrifice. The atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Dissent was met with punishment, and members were coerced into acts of loyalty that blurred moral boundaries. The tragic climax came on November 18, 1978, when U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan visited Jonestown to investigate reports of abuse. His party was ambushed at the airstrip as they attempted to leave, leading to a horrifying mass murder-suicide where over 900 members died after drinking poisoned Kool-Aid. The Manson family. Led by the infamous Charles Manson, a man whose charisma masked a chilling agenda. Living on the fringes of society, Manson attracted a devoted following of young women, many drawn by the allure of the counterculture movement and Manson's promises of love and enlightenment. They resided at the Spahn Ranch, a dilapidated movie set in California, where they indulged in a lifestyle filled with psychedelic drugs and communal living. Manson preached about an impending race war he called Helter Skelter, convincing his followers that they were chosen to survive this chaos. His grip on them tightened as he wove tales of apocalypse and salvation, leading them deeper into a world of delusion. In August 1969, Manson ordered his followers to carry out a series of brutal murders to incite this racial conflict. On the night of August 8th, they invaded the home of actress Sharon Tate, who was 8 months pregnant, and brutally killed her along with 4 others. The next night, they struck again, murdering Leno and Rosemary LaBianca. The shocking violence sent shockwaves across America, leading to Manson's arrest and trial, ultimately sentenced to life in prison, where he remained until his death in 2017. The Movement for the Restoration of the Ten Commandments of God. Founded by Credonia Morinde and Joseph Kibwetir, this cult emerged in the 1980s, claiming divine visions from the Virgin Mary. They promised salvation through strict adherence to the Ten Commandments, drawing in followers with their fervent beliefs. As the year 2000 approached, the movement's prophecies intensified, predicting an imminent apocalypse. Members sold their possessions, surrendering everything to the cult, convinced that only through absolute devotion could they escape impending doom. However, when December 31st, 1999 came and went without incident, doubts began to creep in. On March 17th, 2000, desperation turned deadly. During a church service in Kanungu, followers gathered, unaware of the horror that awaited them. The leaders had nailed the doors shut and doused the building in petrol. As flames engulfed the church, over 500 members perished inside, a horrific act disguised as divine salvation. Investigators later uncovered mass graves and evidence of brutal murders tied to the cult's leadership. In a tragic twist, Kibwetir and Morinde vanished after the massacre and they were never found. The Ant Hill Kids. It was founded by Roch Thériault. In Canada, he styled himself as Moses. He convinced a group of people to leave their jobs and homes to join him in a religious movement, a commune where they could listen to his motivational speeches, live in unity and equality, and be free of sin. In actuality, the group faced cruel acts of abuse, which I cannot even say without this video getting banned. He prohibited the group from remaining in contact with their families and fearing the end of the world. He claimed that God had warned him that it would come in February 1979. In 1978, in preparation, Thériault moved his commune by hiking to a mountainside he called Eternal Mountain, claiming that they could all be saved. There, Thériault made the commune build their town while he relaxed, comparing them to ants working in an anthill and naming the group the Ant Hill Kids. When the apocalypse did not occur, he defended himself by saying that time on Earth and in God's world were not parallel and that therefore it was a miscalculation. To expand the community as well as keep the members devoted, Thériault married and impregnated all of the women in the commune, fathering over 20 children with 9 female members of the group. When the members had medical problems, he would perform amateur surgeries, which even led to the demise of a woman. After one of his members escaped and contacted authorities, Thériault was arrested in 1989 and spent the rest of his life in jail, until he died at 63 years old when he got assaulted by his cellmate with a shiv.